Welcome to the video lecture series of satellite communication. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss the multiple choice questions based on orbital mechanism and look angles. Let us begin today's lecture. First question is, the shape of satellite orbit is either an ellipse or circle. Why? Why the shape of satellite orbit is either circle or ellipse? There could be various factors, but out of these four factors you have to identify the correct one. Means position can be easily determined, or consumes less fuel, or most efficient geometry, or better coverage on Earth. So circles and ellipse, you know that these are the geometric figures and that can be accurately described mathematically. And because the orbit is either circular or elliptical, it is possible to calculate the position of a satellite at any given point of time. So the correct option is A. Next question. For an elliptical orbit, what is the value of eccentricity? You know that for the ellipse you need to calculate the value of E, and for elliptical orbit its value must lie in between 0 to 1. So C is the correct option. Next question is, the direction of orbit in the same direction of Earth rotation is known as. The direction of satellite rotation, you know, it may be either in the same direction as the Earth's rotation or opposite to that. So when it is in the same direction, it is known as posigrade. So B is the correct option. Question number 4 is, in an elliptical orbit, at which point the speed of satellite will be maximum? There are 2 points in the elliptical orbit. One is known as apogee and one is the perigee. So you know, naturally the speed of satellite is greater when it is closest to the Earth, and since perigee is closest to the Earth, so that is the only point where the velocity or the speed of satellite will be maximum. So C is the correct option. Next question is, the time period required by the satellite to complete one orbit is known as. The options are lapse time, time period, sidereal period and unit frequency. So this particular time period is also known as sidereal period. C. Yes, this is the correct one. Next question is, the angle between the line from the Earth station antenna to the satellite and the line between the Earth station antenna and the Earth's horizon is known as. For such type of questions, you have to read the questions carefully. This is actually the angle of elevation. The angle of elevation of a satellite is that angle that appears between the line from the Earth station antenna to the satellite and the line between the Earth station antenna and the Earth's horizon. So this angle of elevation and azimuth angle, these are the important questions. So you will be remembering all these terms carefully. A is the correct answer. What percentage of Earth can communication satellites see? Means communication satellites covers or see how much percentage of the Earth? So this is approximately 40%. So you have to mark this option, which is B, and this is the correct one. Next question is, when the height of a satellite orbit is reduced, the speed of satellite will be. Means when you are reducing the height of the satellite, what would be the impact on the speed of satellite? Means if the height is less, speed will be high. So at this particular point, speed will increase. This is the correct answer. Next question is, the quality of space link is measured in terms of. In which particular term the quality of satellite link or the space link is measured? It is measured in the terms of carrier to noise ratio. So this is the term via which quality is being measured. Let us check the answer. Carrier to noise ratio is the correct answer. Question number 10 is, which law states that the path followed by the satellite around the primary will be an ellipse? This law is being given by Kepler's, and this is the Kepler's first law. You read this particular law in your school as well, so you must be remembering very well. A is the correct answer. Moving ahead, question number 11 is, name the law which states that for equal time interval the satellite will sweep out equal areas in its orbital plane. This is Kepler's second law. Directly you can mark this option C. Next is, which law states that the square of the time period of the orbit is proportional to the cube of mean distance between the two bodies? Means t square is proportional to the a cube, and this is the Kepler's third law. Option is D. Question number 13 is, what is the distance of a synchronous satellite from Earth's surface? So the distance of synchronous satellite from Earth's surface is 35,900 kilometer. You have to remember this. Correct option is C. Question number 14 is, why geosynchronous satellites are always launched in the equatorial plane? Why it is launched in the equatorial plane? Because this is the only plane which provides, four options have been given. It provides 24-hour orbit, it provides a stationary satellite, it provides global communication, and fourth is it provides zero gravity advance. So here geosynchronous satellites are always launched because it provides a stationary satellite. Option B. Let us check the answer. Yes, this is the correct one. Next question is, what is the name of a point on the satellite orbit which is closest to the Earth? There are 2 points on the elliptical orbit of the satellite. One is the perigee and one is apogee. Apogee is the farthest one. So the closest is the perigee. B is the correct option. Next question is, what is the frequency of Ku band for satellite communication? So the frequency of Ku band for the satellite communication is 14 by 11 gigahertz. You have studied it multiple times because initially C band was used, which was 6 by 4 gigahertz, and then it was moved towards the Ku band. Yes, this is the correct answer. Question number 17 is, what is the delay time for satellite transmission from the Earth's transmitter to the Earth's receiver? Means from transmitter towards the satellite and then from satellite towards the receiver. So the delay time is 0.5 second. D is the correct option. Question number 18 is about a circular orbit around the equator which has an orbital period of 24 hours is known as simply geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbit has a orbital period of 24 hours. So option B is the correct one. Next question is, a satellite stays in its orbit because the factors balances each other. So what are those two factors which balances each other and because of which the satellite stays in the orbital? These forces are gravitational forces and the centrifugal forces, and because of equating these two forces you can derive the basic transmission equation. So you can remember this point. This is the correct option. What is the height of a satellite in a synchronous equatorial orbit? The height of a satellite in the synchronous equatorial orbit is 22,300 miles. So D is the correct option. Next, question number 21 is, in which frequency band most satellite operate? So what is that particular frequency band? You know that the frequency band in which most satellite operate is starting from 3 gigahertz goes up to 30 gigahertz. So this is the correct option, C. Next question is, a satellite position is measured by its which particular angle with respect to the horizon? What is that angle? So that particular angle is known as the elevation angle. Means satellite position is always measured by its elevation angle from the Earth's horizon. So option C is the correct one. Next question is, which angle measures the satellite position clockwise from the direction of true north? Remember this particular point, the angle measures the satellite position clockwise from the direction of true north, clockwise. This is the azimuth angle, option A. In next question, you have to find out what is the correct option with respect to the geostationary satellites which are located at which particular latitude or longitude with respect to the equator. So geostationary satellites are in the plane same, so 0 degree latitude. Directly you can mark B is the correct option, means there is a 0 degree latitude for the geostationary satellite with respect to the equator. So B is the correct option. Next question is, the orbital period of the satellite is given, which is 650 minutes. Means T is given, T is 650 minute. What is the semi-major axis of the elliptical orbit? It means you have to calculate A. You know the relationship between T and A. T is what? 2 pi under root A cube upon mu. And T is what? 650 minute. Convert it into the second. So it will be 39000 second. And mu, you know that mu is what? The product of G into M, and its value is 39.8 into 10 raised to the power 13 Newton meter square per kg. Now substitute the value of T mu into this particular equation, and pi you already know it is 3.14. So calculate A. You will be getting the value as 535 into 10 raised to the power 4 meter, which is like 5350 kilometer. So this is what the answer. So you are getting 5350, which is option C. Let us check the answer. Yes, this is the correct one. Question number 26 is, Here apogee and perigee of an elliptical satellite's orbits are 3200 kilometer, and you have to calculate the eccentricity. The four options have been given and you have to choose the correct one. You know that apogee is written as RA, which is 3000 kilometer, and perigee is denoted by RP, which is 200 kilometer, and the formula of eccentricity, you know, this is RA minus RP upon RA plus RP. Just substitute these values. So RA minus RP will be 2800 and RA plus RP will be 3200. So the value of E, which will be getting 0.875. Now check the correct option. Out of these four, B is the correct one. Check the final answer. Yes, this is the correct option. Next question is, the apogee and perigee of an elliptical satellite orbits are 5000 and 2000 kilometer. What is the semi-major axis and semi-minor axis? It means here you have to calculate A and B. RA is given, which is RA is being given as 5000 kilometer. RP is 2000 kilometer. A is what? RA plus RP upon 2, which is 5 plus 2, 7000 upon 2. So its value is coming out as 3500 kilometer. And B, which is the semi-minor axis, this is RA minus RP upon 2, which is equal to 5000 minus 2000 means 3000 upon 2. So it is coming out as 1500 kilometer. Now check the correct option. Out of these four, RA is 3500 and 1500 means A is the correct option. Let us check the answer. Yes, whatever you have calculated, that is the correct one. Next question is, the difference between apogee and perigee is 25,000 kilometer and semi-major axis is 16,000 kilometer. Earth's radius is also given and you have to determine the eccentricity, and then you need to check your answer with the options being given over here. It means you have to calculate E. The difference between apogee and perigee means RA minus RP. This is what? 25,000 kilometer. You know that RA is what? It can be written as A times 1 plus E, and RP is what? A times 1 minus E, and this is equal to 25,000. Now simplify this term. You will be getting 2A E. This is equal to 25,000. You have to calculate E. A is given. A is what? Semi-major axis at 16,000 kilometer. So from here you can calculate E is what? 25,000 upon 16,000 into 2, which is 32,000. So the value of E you will be getting at 0.78. Check it from the given answers. It matches with the option C. This is the correct one. Next question 29 number is the difference between the farthest and the closest point in the satellite elliptical orbit from the Earth is 30,000 kilometer. The difference between the farthest and the closest point, it means RA minus RP is being given, which is 30,000 kilometer. Then it is given that the sum of apogee and perigee heights, it means HA plus HP is what? 50,000 kilometer. Mean radius of Earth is also given 6400, and you have to determine eccentricity means E and length of semi-major axis means A. Calculate these two values from the given one. You know that RA plus RP, sum of apogee and perigee, can be written as HA plus HP plus twice of RE, because heights have been taken from the Earth's surface. So you have to add the term of Earth's radius in apogee height and Earth's radius in perigee height. Then you will be getting apogee and perigee distances. Substitute it as, this is what? 50,000 plus this is 2 into 6400. So sum of RA plus RP you will be getting as 62800 kilometer. Now you have two terms, one is this, other is this, and by using these two you can calculate E. E will be what? RA minus RP upon RA plus RP, which is 50,000 upon 62800. Simplify it, you will be getting this value as equal to 0.48. So this is one answer. Next you have to calculate A. So A is what? RA plus RP upon 2, and RA plus RP is being, you have calculated 62800 upon 2. It means this is what? 31400 kilometer. Now search out the correct option. E 0.48 and A is 31400. B is the correct option. Yes, this is what you have calculated. In this question, a geostationary satellite is moving in an equatorial circular orbit at a height of 35,786 kilometer. Means what is R0? This is 35,786 kilometer from the Earth's surface, and Earth's radius, which is denoted as RE, is given as 6,378 kilometer. And you need to calculate the maximum coverage angle. Maximum coverage angle is 2 alpha max. You need to calculate it. And how you can calculate it? This will be twice of sine inverse RE upon RE plus R0 cos of E. Here this angle E is what? 0 degree, because it is being given that it is in the equatorial circular orbit. So what could be this particular term? This will be twice of sine inverse RE is 6,378 upon 6,378 plus 35,786 into cos 0 degree, and cos 0 is 1. So when you simplify this particular term, you will be getting it as 17.4 degree. You can verify the calculation by solving this. And now let us check 17.4 degree. This is the option B, which is the correct one. Let us check. Yes, this is the correct option. Moving ahead. Next question is, what is the name of point where orbit crosses the equatorial plane going from south to north? Here the variation is from south to north, and this point is known as the ascending node. You have studied all these terms in elements of satellite communication. So this one C is the correct option. In next question, what is the angle formed in between the Earth's equatorial plane and the orbital plane of the satellite when it is measured from the clockwise? Means angle between the Earth equatorial plane and the plane of the satellite is known as angle of inclination. It is being denoted as I. So A is the correct answer. Next question is, what is the name of point where inclined orbit crosses equatorial plane while traveling from north to south? So when equatorial plane crosses from north to south, it is known as descending node. In the last case, I have told you when it moves from south to north, it is known as ascending node. So here, this is the descending one. Question number 34 is about the line joining the ascending and descending node. So the line which join the ascending and descending node is known as line of nodes. D is the correct answer. Next question is, what do you understand by the combination of azimuth and elevation angle? You know that azimuth and elevation angles, these are the antenna look angles. C is the correct one. Question number 36 is, horizontal pointing angle of an earth station antenna is known as. When earth station antenna points towards the horizontal, the angle is known as azimuth angle. Let us see. Yes, this is the correct one. Moving ahead. Question number 37 is, what is the angle of elevation? How to define the angle of elevation? Angle of elevation is actually the angle between the vertical plane and the line pointing to the satellite. You studied this particular definition. So A would be the correct option. And the last question is, an orbit when satellite rotates in its path above the equator is known as. What is that particular orbit where satellite rotates in a path above the equator is known as a equatorial orbit. So C is the correct option. I hope all these multiple choice questions you are able to understand systematically, and these are going to benefit you. Thank you so much.